They call me the doctor who still makes house calls in snow, a man born in the skyscrapers of New York, but shaped by the mountains of Japan. For over 4 decades, I've walked narrow stone paths to visit elders in the countryside, where age is worn like a medal and every wrinkle tells a story. And if there's one truth I've learned in treating thousands of seniors from Tokyo to Tottori, it is this. After age 75, death is no longer random. It is patterned, predictable, preventable. In fact, 99% of all deaths after 75 can be traced back to just 5 root causes. And if you know what they are and how to respond, you can extend not just the length of your life, but the quality of your final chapters. Let me share with you the story of a man named Shohei. He was 81 when I met him. Kind, sharp, polite, and at first glance completely healthy. But within 18 months, he was gone. Not from an accident, not from fate, but from something that could have been seen, could have been changed. And that's why today, I'm writing this for you, not to scare you, but to empower you. The day Shohei stumbled. Shohei was the kind of man every village loves. He taught calligraphy to the neighborhood children. He walked every morning to the shrine with a cup of tea. He lived alone since his wife passed, but kept his home neat, his mind alert, and his heart open. One morning, as he stepped outside to water his bonsai, he slipped. Not hard, just a small misstep on the stone step. He bruised his hip. Nothing seemed broken. We checked him at the clinic. All signs stable. But in the weeks that followed, something began to unravel. He moved less, slept more. His appetite dulled. He missed a few classes with the children. Then, 2 months later, he developed pneumonia. And a month after that, I signed the certificate. His official cause of death was respiratory failure. But the truth? He died from a fall and the cascade that followed. And that's where we begin. Cause 1. Falls and fractures. According to the World Health Organization, falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in adults over 75. But more than the physical break, it's the chain reaction that kills. A fall causes pain. Pain reduces movement. Less movement leads to muscle loss and poor circulation. Weakness invites infection. An infection becomes fatal. In Shohei's case, that one stumble marked the first domino. The tragedy? Falls are almost always preventable. Here's how. Balance training. Practice standing on one leg for 10 seconds. Do Tai Chi or simple heel-to-toe walking exercises daily. Strengthen legs, light squats, resistance bands, and walking on uneven surfaces improve stability. Home safety. Remove slippery rugs, add handrails, improve lighting. Check vision and medications. Dizziness often comes from drug side effects or poor sight. Shohei didn't need a cane, but he did need to train his legs, not just walk with them. Cause 2. Silent infections, pneumonia, and UTIs. Many of my patients die not from heart attacks or cancer but from infections that arrive silently and take hold quickly. After 75, the immune system becomes slower to react. A simple cold can turn into pneumonia. A mild urinary tract infection, UTI, can travel to the bloodstream and cause sepsis. And here's what's terrifying. Most elders don't present typical symptoms. There's often no fever. They may just seem more tired, confused, or withdrawn. Shohei never complained of a cough. His oxygen levels dropped gradually. His body simply stopped fighting. Prevention is not just about avoiding germs. It's about strengthening the system that fights them. Vitamin D, essential for immune response. Most seniors are deficient. Supplement daily. Hydration. Even mild dehydration increases UTI risk and thickens mucus in the lungs. Breathing exercises. Deep belly breathing improves lung capacity and clears secretions. Movement. Gentle walking, even indoors, helps circulation and lymphatic flow. We vaccinate against flu and pneumonia for a reason. But more than that, we must build the internal fortress. Cause 3. Muscle loss, sarcopenia. This is the thief no one sees coming. Sarcopenia, age-related loss of muscle mass, begins quietly in the 60s and accelerates after 75. It doesn't just make you weaker. It makes you slower, stiffer, less able to regulate blood sugar, blood pressure, and body temperature. And worst of all, it shrinks the margin of recovery. Shohei was strong in spirit, but he had stopped lifting anything heavier than a tea kettle. His legs thinned. His back stooped. His once proud posture began to tilt. By the time pneumonia came, His body had no reserves left. Here's how you fight back. Protein. Seniors need more protein than younger adults, about 1.2 grams per kg body weight daily. Spread it across meals. Resistance training. Even light weights or resistance bands twice a week can rebuild muscle. Leg priority. Focus on glutes, thighs, and calves. These muscles determine independence. Vitamin B12 and magnesium. Crucial for muscle repair and nerve communication. You don't need a gym. You need intentional movement. Daily. Purposeful. Just like you brush your teeth. Cause 4. Malnutrition and gut weakness. Shoei's appetite declined gradually. At first, he said the rice didn't taste right. Then he began skipping breakfast. Then dinner. He said he wasn't hungry. But it wasn't the food. It was gut aging. After 75, the digestive tract changes. Less stomach acid equals poor nutrient absorption. Slower transit equals constipation and discomfort. Weakened taste buds equals reduced appetite. Malnutrition in elders is not always visible. Many are skinny fat, with low muscle mass, weak bones, but normal weight. This condition is deadly. It leads to weaker immunity, slow wound healing, increased risk of hospitalization and mortality. How to rebuild the gut and appetite. Fermented foods, miso, natto, yogurt restore gut flora. Warm, soft meals, easier to digest, avoid cold, raw foods in winter. Zinc and iron, stimulate taste and appetite. Eat small meals more often, instead of 3 big ones. Most importantly, eat with ritual, not rush. Set the table. Light incense. Play music. The body digests not just food but also atmosphere. Cause 5. Isolation and loss of purpose. This one is invisible, but deadly. When Shoei stopped teaching calligraphy, he said it was just for now, but it never resumed. The children went on. He sat in silence. The truth is, humans don't just live on oxygen and nutrients. We live on meaning. After 75, many elders feel like their story is over. Retired, widowed, forgotten. But the body listens to the soul. Isolation leads to sleep disturbances, loss of appetite, increased risk of stroke and dementia, immune suppression. But here's the hope. Purpose can be rebuilt at any age. Share stories. Write letters. Record voice messages for grandchildren. Create. Paint. Fold origami. Grow herbs. Teach. Even one child, one neighbor, one student. Walk in nature with intention. Pray. Volunteer. Guide. Aging is not the end of usefulness. It is the rise of legacy. Shoei's decline began when he thought he was no longer needed. The truth? His presence, his wisdom, his very being was always needed. But no one reminded him. Scientific summary. The 5 hidden killers after 75. Let's summarize what science and the quiet stories of people like Shoei have shown. Falls and fractures. Primary cause of sudden decline. Preventable through balance, strength, and home safety. Silent infections, pneumonia, UTIs. Often masked in elders. Preventable through hydration, nutrition, and immune care. Muscle loss, sarcopenia. Leads to frailty, insulin resistance, poor recovery. Preventable through protein and resistance training. Malnutrition and gut aging. Common but overlooked. Addressed through gut-friendly meals and micronutrient support. Isolation and purposelessness. Erodes vitality from the inside. Healed by connection, creativity, and contribution. These 5 are not inevitable. They are intervenable. They do not require expensive treatments. They require awareness, consistency, and care. Final words from Dr. Raymond Kondo. I write this not to instill fear but to offer clarity. Because death after 75 is not always a surprise. It is often a slow fade, a missed sign, a gentle surrender that could have been paused if only we had seen the pattern. Shoei was not weak. He was not sick. He simply followed a path that many walk unknowingly. But you, reading this, you can choose another path. Stand on one leg today, lift a pot tomorrow, call someone next week. Season your rice with gratitude. Eat like it matters. Rest like it heals. Move like you're still becoming. Because you are. You are still becoming. If this story opened your eyes, gave you tools, or reminded you of your own strength, please like this video, comment below with what you'll start changing, and subscribe for more grounded, Heart-led wisdom from a doctor who believes that every elder still has a chapter left to write full of health, purpose, and power.